Call your next witness.
State calls Kim Balcars to the stand. Judge, while she's coming in, can Attorney Bowles and I approach?
Sure.
Attorney Bowles, are you doing this?
Do you solemnly swear the testimony given in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Good afternoon. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Kimberly Ford, Kimberly, Ford, Ford.
I used the last name Balcars. I forgot you got married. Is that correct?
Correct.
I
yes.
apologize for that. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Where do you work?
At Gunderson by Amplify.
And what is your role with Gunderson?
Registered nurse in the pediatric department.
How long have you worked as a registered nurse in the pediatric department of Gunderson?
Since 2018.
I want to direct your attention to January 16th of 2023. Were you working in your capacity as a pediatric nurse with Gunderson on that day?
Yes, I was.
And did you receive information about a patient coming your way by the name of Alexavier Pedrin?
Correct.
Okay. Did the initial information that you received regarding Alexavier Pedrin indicate that he had a femur fracture that was concerning for non-accidental trauma?
Correct.
Tell us about your initial interactions with both Alexavier and the family when they arrived.
On arrival, Josie Dikeman came off a little bit defensive. She was under the impression that Alexavier's leg would just be casted and they would be going home. So she was upset that they were getting admitted upstairs in the pediatric department. Alexavier was pretty quiet and let Josie answer most all of our questions for him.
Did you attempt to pose questions to Alexavier?
Yes.
What were those questions regarding?
Actually, Dr. Glowacki was the one asking questions to Alexavier in the room to start. And when she asked how Alexavier hurt his leg, he said that he slipped on ice at school yesterday. I think that was our first initial red flag because that wasn't what was told to us from the receiving hospital. And also it was Monday, so yesterday was Sunday on that day. When asked if his sister was present when he slipped on the ice, since that's what he said, he looked to Josie for, to answer that question for him. And Josie said he slipped on the ice at school and hurt his leg, so he was walking slow down the stairs and his sister pushed him since he was going slow.
Did the defendant or Ms. Dikeman give an indication of when this push down the stairs occurred?
I do not recall.
You do not recall the timing of that?
Correct.
Okay, that was the history that was provided to you by both Alexavier and the defendant? A slip on the fall of ice and then a push down the stairs? Correct. Okay.
Yep.
And there was no, I think I just asked this, but there's no indication of timing relative to when that fall down the stairs occurred?
I don't recall exactly. I know they had said that they went to a birthday party between the fall and coming to the hospital, so I'm not sure if that was the same day or the day before.
Do you recall when the birthday party was or when you were told the birthday party was?
I do not recall.
Okay. Tell us about Alexavier's demeanor and what you observed of Alexavier's demeanor while he was at the hospital.
Alexavier, like I said, he was very quiet and like looked to Josie for answers to questions. He didn't like to answer our questions without looking to her first or letting her answer for him.
What about the defendant's demeanor? How would you describe Josie Dikeman's demeanor?
Defensive, not typical for having an injured child in the hospital. In my now many years of experience, usually parents are like anxious that their child is there and very grateful for the care that is being provided. I felt right away that Josie was like blocking me from everything that I wanted to do or questioning everything that I wanted.
Objection. This is speculation and not relevant.
Overruled.
You can continue answering.
Okay. Yeah, so I would say Josie's demeanor was defensive and not protective of the child or.
She asked you for your name?
Yes, Josie asked me for my last name while writing on a legal pad, and I told her that I didn't have to give her that information to care for her child.
Did you and Dr. Glowicki together document any other injuries on the outside of Alexavier's body?
Dr. Glowacki, when doing her skin assessment that we do on all children on admission, she took many photos of Alexavier's body.
And you were present for that, is that fair? If you remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, better to talk to her about that.
Yes.
Okay.
I would prefer that.
Last question I want to ask you. Tell us a little bit about what you remember about the level of pain that Alexavier was in when you saw him on January 16th, 2023.
I feel like I can't speak to the level of pain. What sticks out in my mind is that Josie declined me giving any pain medications to Alexavier.
Objection. This is not responsive to the question. Strike that.
Sustain.
Okay.
Chuck, go ahead.
Why did you want to give Alexavier pain medication?
Because his leg was broken. If I had a broken leg, I would want some pain medication on board.
I assume above and beyond his leg being broken and it being a displaced fracture, that you were, if you wanted to give him pain medication, were you making observations that he was in pain?
Correct.
And that would help alleviate the pain that he was in?
Correct.
And you informed the defendant that you wanted to give Alexavier pain medication?
Correct.
And the response to that was what?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much. I have no further questions.
Okay. Cross.
Sorry.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I understand that you were the night shift nurse. Is that right?
Correct.
And so your job that night was giving bedside nursing care, not forensic investigation, right?
Correct.
And you would defer to the pediatric orthopedist on questions regarding diagnosis and treatment of fractures, right?
Correct.
That's just not a determination that you're in a position to make, right?
Correct.
And before Alex arrived, you were told there were concerns of non-accidental trauma, right?
Correct.
And you understood that there was an x-ray describing this injury as concerning, right?
Correct.
And you were told that CPS was already involved before the family arrived.
Correct.
And so you were prepared for this involving abuse concerns before you met Josie.
Yes.
Now you testified that Josie was upset when she arrived at the hospital.
Correct.
And she believed that she had been told Alex would only need a cast and then could leave.
Yes.
Now you explained that there was uncertainty. It could be a splint. It could require surgery.
Yes.
And surgical intervention, that can be serious, right?
Yes.
So Josie's not a medical expert, right? And medical diagnoses and treatments can be hard for the average person to understand. Is that fair?
Yes.
And are you aware that she has low cognitive functioning?
Nope.
And she was reacting to a situation that, in her mind, had started to escalate, right?
Okay.
Would that be fair? She was reacting to a situation that seemed to be escalating?
Can't speak on that for her.
Well, there was a situation that was initially, it could have been one way or the other, a splint, go home, or surgery and be hospitalized, right?
Right.
So that was an escalating response to this injury.
Okay.
And so she was reacting to that. Is that fair?
I'm not sure what she was reacting to. I feel like I can't speak to that.
But this was the context in which you had that conversation with her, right?
Yes.
Now, so Josie certainly was, it would be understandable to be upset if you're accused of abuse, falsely accused, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
And did you ever pull Josie aside to ask if she felt safe at home?
No.
How about Alex?
We asked those questions to kids when no one else is in the room, and he was not alone on my shift, so I did not get to ask Alex that.
Okay. Now, you noted some abrasions that were already healing, and you described some bruising, right?
Correct.
And you believe that the bruises were in different stages of healing?
Me and Dr. Gulaki both
I'm
made that
asking if you
conclusion.
believed that.
Yes, I do.
And are you aware that bruise appearance and color progression is highly variable and not precise?
Yeah.
And bruises can develop and inconclusive and reliably. The studies showing bruise imaging studies show that bruising cannot reliably be correlated with healing color and timing.
I'm going to object. I don't know if she's familiar with these studies.
Sustained.
Are you familiar that you cannot scientifically date a bruise just by looking at the color?
Never looked into it. Never studied bruises.
Now, Alex initially told you that he had slipped on ice at school, right?
Correct.
And Josie said that he had fallen down the stairs.
Correct.
And his sister admitted to pushing him, right?
His sister was not present.
Oh. Are you aware that she admitted to pushing him?
No. No, never talked to her.
And you reported Alex looked to Josie before answering questions.
Correct.
And it's common for children to look at a parent before speaking to a stranger, particularly in a stressful environment, right?
Correct.
And being in a hospital, being asked number of questions by strangers, that could be stressful for a kid, right?
Correct.
But you consider that a red flag, as you indicated.
Yes. I mean, we're trained to.
Yeah. And certainly, you know, as a caregiver and somebody who treats children, it's always safer to report abuse rather than to not report abuse if you are concerned, right?
Absolutely.
But that does not mean that abuse actually occurred.
Correct.
And if abuse did occur, it doesn't mean we can determine who caused that, right?
Correct.
Now, you described Josie as defensive, and she was intervening in your care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the record needs to be clear. Is that a yes?
Yes.
And she was taking notes on a yellow notepad, is that right?
Correct.
She asked you for your last name,
Correct.
and that to you felt threatening, perhaps, or is that what that landed like?
Yes. I've never had anybody ask me that at work before. They don't need to know that information for me to care for their child.
But she said she felt accused of been seeking care, is that right?
Yes.
And in terms of writing things down, you know, if you have cognitive limitations, maybe recording your recollections at the time might be something you would want to do, right?
Fair?
Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. In this day and age with WebMD and the wide open internet where parents can educate themselves, is it sometimes a source of frustration when medical providers feel like their judgment or care is being questioned by a parent?
I feel like that's more common now than it used to be.
That can be a real source of frustration, right?
Sure.
Because you've got lots of kids to take care of.
Correct.
And, you know, your time is valuable and it has to be, you know, split by all of the different cases, all of the different admissions, right?
Correct.
Did you ever happen to see what she was documenting?
No,
And with the CPS investigation, that's, you know, a legal process, right?
correct.
And so recording what you think or perceive or are learning can help document the progression of that investigation. Is that fair?
Yeah,
And you would agree being accused of abuse is stressful, right?
I would agree.
Reacting emotionally to a serious accusation like that doesn't mean someone is guilty, does it?
No,
Someone who is falsely accused would be upset as well, right?
right?
Now, we understand that Alex was not spoken to. He apparently didn't have any alone time while you were caring for him. Is that fair?
Yes,
And we've established that you're not familiar with Josie's history of multiple TBIs or whether she had suffered PTSD or any other condition that would affect how she reacts to stressful situations.
I would not know that, no.
And would you agree that a woman who is being abused by a male partner sometimes would be reluctant to be forthcoming about what's happening in the house?
Sorry, can you ask that again?
Would you agree that a woman who is being abused by a male partner sometimes might be reluctant to talk about what's happening in that house?
Yeah,
Especially if the abuser was present?
correct.
So, you know, you rely on what other folks tell you is your job, that no one person can do this job, right? It's a group effort.
Sorry, can you ask that again?
You rely on other people's representations to you, other colleagues, staff. You rely on their representations because, you know, this is a team effort and you have to rely on your colleagues, right?
Correct.
And you believed Alex's initial statement was in the doctor's notes, correct?
Sorry, what are you asking?
Did you learn a lot of what happened from the doctor's notes? About the case? Did you learn about the case by reading the doctor's notes about what had occurred prior to his arrival?
Like from the other hospital, or what are you at?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is you were reading the medical records and establishing your knowledge based on what was put in some of those notes, right?
No, I received a phone call from the other facility
Okay,
letting us know their concerns.
just basic conversations mostly.
Yes,
And so it'd be fair to say, though, that significant parts of your testimony were dependent on statements by others and not firsthand knowledge on your part. Is that fair?
which others are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying that some of the statements that you received were secondhand. Is that right?
I just got a brief report from the other hospital stating their concerns.
You're obviously concerned. That's legitimate, right? But that was
Correct.
from what you had been reported, right?
I had a fair warning that others were concerned, but I had a lot of concerns of my own.
Now, did you have any knowledge of the radiology report or the impressions of the radiologist?
Yes,
Okay. And are you aware that some of the initially concerning findings were later determined to be developmental conditions?
Judge, I will stipulate that the original belief that there was a pubic fracture was found to be an abnormality and was ultimately ruled not to be a fracture.
As well as
I'll stipulate to that for every witness.
as well as the tibia findings? Yes.
I don't think he asked about the tibia findings. I want to review that to make sure, but
Those were included in the constellation of findings in the radiology report.
So, okay, just if she was aware of them or not.
Okay.
And they were amended, we all agree that they were later amended, so.
Are you aware that the pediatric orthopedist at Mayo, Dr. Shaughnessy, believed that the injury could be consistent with a fall?
nope, that was not what I was told.
So you were not told that that this orthopedist believed that it could be consistent with a fall? You just weren't aware of that? Okay.
I wasn't aware, nope.
So you weren't aware that, did you know Dr. Peterson, John Peterson?
As an employee, yes,
And he was a very well-respected pediatric orthopedic surgeon at Gunderson, is that right?
correct,
And sadly, he's passed away last year.
Correct.
But he was he was certainly a well-respected expert.
Judge, I'm going to object to him testifying to the reputation of another doctor. If you want to put in reputation evidence, do it, but it should come in through him.
We'll hear from him. I'll move on.
Okay.
Okay. And are you familiar with Colton Wagner?
No.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Okay. Any redirect?
Just briefly, you were asked a number of questions about domestic violence and how people react to domestic violence, correct?
Correct.
This wasn't involving domestic violence, right?
No.
This didn't involve anything with regards to the defendant being a victim of something, did it?
No.
And if the defendant has concerns about a TBI and you're not aware of her TBI, she could also tell you about that, right?
Correct.
It's not your responsibility to find everything you don't know about somebody. Is that fair?
Correct.
You were asked questions about what may have been stressful for Alexavier when he was in the room, correct?
Yes.
We don't know what was going on in Alexavier's mind, do we?
Nope.
Those are all questions that are made to speculate about what he may have been feeling at that time when you were seeing him, correct?
Correct.
Now, another thing that we could speculate about is maybe he was the victim of child abuse and the abuser was in the room and he didn't want to talk, right?
Sustain, and you say it's speculation, so I'd ask you not to ask sustain. Go ahead. Any recross? Any recross? Nope. All right. Thank you, Maydan. Sit down. I don't need any exhibits. You step down.
Thank you.